To pick because the situations that these incredible writers put me in, they're just so outrageous. I think the guy with the flabby ass was really, and the small and the large penis episodes are really very dear to me. I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 jackpot, yes.
That's the big one.
That's the big one, yes,
the
yes.
large one
I like them kind of medium, but.
Got it. Okay.
Stay on that hot topic tape.
Did the show ever exist on conventional broadcast network television?
Not now. No. Not yet.
But do you think
This is a good sign, winning an Emmy for a show like this. I mean, an Emmy, excuse me, a Golden Globe. I was projecting.
Positive thinking, positive thinking.
I was projecting. No, I think this is great validation for the show and period. I think people would like to see it on network TV. If they had the choice, I think they'd watch, definitely.
It's the same audience.
Yeah, it's the
My
same.
mother, she watches Everybody Loves Raymond and
Yeah.
The Big and Small Penis.
Well, he writes it.
Yeah, and
Of
she's
course he's gonna
Catholic.
watch.
What do your mothers say about the true
My
They-
mother loves it. She thinks it's the greatest show.
You know what? They
For us, was a really nice gesture because
Central Park West was parodied on Saturday Night Live, so I think the Golden Globe.
Mad Magazine.
Yeah, now that's a different story.
I also think that we kind of all knew we'd arrived when, we walk down the street and people go crazy and, scream and jump up and down and say, we love your show, we love your show.
Good evening. Wow. Best I not touch this. Bittersweet is the word that keeps coming up, yeah. It's, yeah, my mission tonight basically is not to weep. That's what it's all about tonight. And I have no idea what I said up there because it was a very emotional moment. But I'm real proud of the show. I'm real proud of what we've been able to do for the last 4 years. And these guys are just so nice to me. I don't know what I did for them. I must have mowed all their lawns or something when I did, but it's very sweet.
Michael, it's an extraordinarily strong ensemble cast of the show?
Amazing
What
group.
would you like to have happen with the show?
I'm absolutely happy with whatever happens in a way. I think that I'd love to see the show carry on, and if it does, I might even pop in every now and then. But it's kind of at the same time too. ABC and DreamWorks have been so terrific to me, so that if they decide that isn't feasible or viable, I don't want to drive them nuts about it.
But you have they're going to be interested.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of people who I'd like to see hang on to their jobs. Absolutely. I mean, it's a very strange feeling to wake up and one day go in and be the agent of change in so many lives. I mean, I had a big breakfast that day, believe me. So, yeah, absolutely anything that would keep production in New York, keep these actors working, I'd be thrilled. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so absolutely terrific. And you've heard these comments as one of the greatest contributions Hollywood's made.
Yeah, people have gotten a little crazy.
Effusive.
Is that a lot of weight on both of your shoulders? Does this ease that weight at all?
I don't, I love that people have been so complimentary, but we go and we do what we do. We get the scripts, we read them, we act them out, and we go home. And that's as long as we keep our eye on the ball there. The weight is only, it's as important as you make it. You know what I mean? If you keep your perspective straight, I think we'll be all right. Is that bad?
No, that's good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was easy. Can we go now?
Bye-bye.
Hey, James, I heard after the Emmys you wanted to go home.
You're right.
Get on the plane.
Oh,
That was nice.
yeah, but it wasn't because of the winning or the losing. It's just this, between all the work and everything. I mean, that was enough, and I just had a baby and everything, and then that I was like, okay, that's enough. Time to go on home. It was just a little bit much, but it was a good experience. The whole thing. I had a good time.
James, we're used to hearing you express yourself very personally on television as this character. I mean, if you could talk to your counselor or, of course, to us, could you tell us what all this approval for this series, what this tonight, could you tell us in personal terms what this has meant?
It's actually, I'm proud of it. It's very gratifying. But like Edie said, it's just our studios are in Long Island City, which is a very kind of no
Keeps it
man's
real.
land. So you go out there and you do your work, and then you come back. And when we come out to LA, this is where we see it. But generally, day to day, we don't see any of that. So it's easy just to, your life stays the same pretty much.
Jim and Edie, I think you are maybe the most believable married couple on television. You can't
Yes, I'm just very upset to find out that James Gandolfini's married. Isn't it sad? It's so sad. Sexiest man on television, what can I tell you?
You got the go with them. Are you looking for a date then as well? Or?
No, I have a few, thanks. Yeah, you know. Actually, my date tonight was Gavin O'Connor, the director. He was my date, because he's the only one tall enough to invite. 6 foot.
Janet, how do you feel about the whole notion of everyone thinking you're an overnight success when in fact you've been at this for years and years and years?
I don't care as long as they give me this.
Are you thinking about a project to do? You're looking at the scripts right now and choosing?
I am, yeah, and I'm going to have a little bit of a rest, I think, as well, and do a little bit of home cooking. Yeah.
Play another American again, or?
Well, I might. No, I did. I had 2 films coming out, which are where I play 2 more Americans, so.
Janet, we talked about this before. This essentially means for certain you'll be at the Oscars.
It doesn't mean that for certain.
It means that you'll be there. What do you think it means you'll certainly be not?
I'm too excited being here, you silly thing. How could I possibly think about that? It means I have to find another frock. That'd be a bit of a nightmare. Jesus. This is all British, vintage, old. The diamonds cost more than my entire life savings and my house and everything else. No, Asprey's of London very kindly lent them to me. I don't possess anything like this, yeah. What did I like most about Mary Jo? Her wild, free, wonderful spirit, her joie de vivre. Yeah, that's enough, isn't it? I suppose, being quite unconventional, being full of life. Yeah. Singing to your own tune, as it were. Mm.
When I spoke to you weeks ago on the phone,
Oh, hello.
I got them both. All right. Woo! The Agua Awards. It feels so good, but you know what? I forgot a bunch of things. And one thing I want to say through this whole thing is Lynn Margulies and Bob's Muda and the Kaufman family were incredible to me. And it got a little strange sometimes because the family literally treated me like Andy was alive and we kind of hung out. And it was, we had heart-to-hearts and everything else that, would be strange to sit in on. But they were just fantastic, and I just wanted to say that because I blew it. And the foreign press, absolutely. They've supported me really nicely, and it's wonderful.
You won this award, I think, and you're getting so much awards attention, is that there was a sense that you really loved the character as you played him. But what did you love most about Eddie?
Just the willingness to go through the door and take the flak, and to step out on new turf and whether he's maligned for it or not, whether you like it or not, you have to appreciate the fact that somebody steps out and takes a chance. And that's it for me. And also there's a mischievous childlike quality to him that people didn't grasp all the time, but it was always there. Even when he was being the wrestler and being the pain in the butt during the height of the women's movement, he was within his eyes. There's a child in there just pushing buttons going, oh, I can't do this? Are you a lot
like all these things yourself?
Yeah, sure. Oh, it's only a matter of time before I mess up.
You talk about it now like he's a separate character, but people making this movie said when you made the movie there was no distinction.
Quiet down out there! Sorry. It's my turn, man! Well, I don't know what the question was.
There was no distinction, that you were him. I mean, is that...
Andy worked that way. Andy never showed up to the set and said suddenly action and turned around and combed his hair and became a character, except when he did Elvis. But it was his desire to convince everyone that who he was at that moment was real, including himself. And somebody called it selective schizophrenia, and that's really what it was. And so I wanted this film to be like Andy came back to do his life. And so that's how I approached it. And fortunately, Milos Forman was generous enough to, because he called me up after the first couple of weeks and said, "I'm tired. I don't know how to direct Andy," you know. And I said, "Well, we could fire him. I'll come in and do an impression if you want to." You know, but he was wonderful, and he played along. He found a way to get to these characters, to get to Tony, and to get to... So everybody was play acting in this thing. The crew, everyone. It was amazing.
Halle, you know the shot they're going to play over and over again tomorrow is when they announced your name, focused in on you. Can you tell us at all what that felt like?
I thought for sure they were going to say Helen Mirren. And I made up my mind. My mom said enjoy, and I was just going to enjoy the fact that Dorothy was getting another accolade and another chance for her to be recognized and her name to be mentioned, and that was so enough. So to hear my name was just surreal. I don't win awards, really, so I'm still just... It's still digesting in my mind, and I'm just so proud tonight.
You've been more overwhelmed than anybody we've seen. It seems to mean more to you than a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, this movie was so personal for me. Dorothy's struggle is so much my own in the year 2000, and as an African-American actress, our struggle is a little bit different. So tonight, this said that I'm a part of this community, that I've been accepted. And it does mean a lot to me.
Did you not feel that before?
I did, but somehow when you're able to be at one of these shows and it's not just about the dress that you're wearing, it means a whole different thing, you know. And I finally feel a part of Hollywood, and that feels so good. I've worked so hard, and it feels so good.
And Halle, it must have a special satisfaction because you know, in a way, you did it, not by yourself, but you rolled up your sleeves and cried.
Yes, for 7 years, you know, and this is a story that every studio in Hollywood, every other cable network said no to. And I just wouldn't give up. I thought that Dorothy deserved recognition. She deserves a place like Marilyn Monroe in not only Black history, but in American history. And tonight, she gets that. You know, this award is just as much for her as it is for me. And she's so deserving, so deserving. And tonight, she won big time, and that feels good to have been the vessel that allowed her to be able to do that. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really, well, you know, it wasn't any, I'd heard horror stories, all kinds of stories, you know, working with a big company like Disney, doing animation, you know, you'd be rewriting until the moment it's out in the cinema, and be by a fax machine, rewrite the lyrics. It just didn't happen, you know. Maybe I was trying so hard, I don't know what it was, but I mean, I really enjoyed the whole collaboration and sort of, I wrote it. It wasn't by committee, but they liked it, and I really felt I grew. And I'm really, wow. I'm really thrilled. It did. They did, you know. It's just, if you really want to do something, you know, you really put your mind to it, and just, I'd grown up on Disney movies, and, you know, it was an interesting art form to me anyway. But no, it was a real labor of love, you know. I really threw myself into it, and I had a wonderful time.
What about the process is different when you write for yourself?
Well, it's no different, really. I mean, in the end, you know, I've got to like it if it's for me, but if a whole bunch of other people have got to like it, if it's for a film. But the process of sitting down there and trying to write the best song possible for that moment in the film where the mother ape is singing to the baby, you know, that's, as a father, I know that kind of feeling. And so you just sort of try to sort of write it in music. and lyrics. Well, I'm doing another Disney movie. I mean, they've enjoyed working with me, and I'm working with them. Be a different team, so it'll be a different sort of totally different thing. But I had a tour booked for this year, which I cancelled, which is kind of, for me, a major breakthrough in knowing how to live your life, you know? Because I wanted to do nothing. I just got married last year, and I wanted to spend some time on my boat. I wanted to spend time with my wife. I wanted to spend time enjoying some things, trying to make some babies. I wanted to be there for my kids. I didn't want to be in a hotel room somewhere. You know, I've done that for 25 years, and I feel it was a big moment for me deciding that, you know. So it has been, yeah. For the last 5 years, actually, I've done it very well. I've worked less. I mean, when I was doing Tarzan, I mean, I did a big band album, 2 big band tours, did Dancing to the Light tour. So I've worked quite hard all my life, like most people do, and most people should. But, well, it's.
Thank you. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do because I've never been in a situation like this before, so I'm counting on you guys to give me some guidance here. Okay.
Congratulations, the movie is so terrific.
Thank you.
And the fact that you have won tonight and Sam has won tonight would lead some people who met in this room to think the movie is going to win. Now, what about all that stuff? Does it matter to you?
Of course it matters. It's incredibly validating and flattering, and especially this movie, which was so personal when I wrote it. I personally never expected it to sell, and then once it was made, I was a little nervous about the way people would respond to it. But the fact that audiences have responded to it and it seems to strike a chord in people, nothing could be more validating to a writer, I think. Aside from the fact also that the movie, you know, my biggest award has been that the movie was made by such amazing people and made in a way that I can feel so incredibly proud of and proud to have been a part of.
To that end, Kevin Spacey has said, congratulations, we posed the same question to Alan. The fact that you're holding that tonight and he is as well bodes very well, I would think, for the movie's prospects here tonight and elsewhere.
I'm fighting Barbra Streisand. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I worship her. So, well, it's, you know, I don't think anyone expected, probably Alan said the identical thing, and no one expected when we were shooting this movie that we were going to be, you know, standing at these sorts of things, because it didn't seem that sort of movie. And so everything has been a bonus, really. And the more, the better. And it means that more people are going to see the film, you know. It's just, it's thrilling, really exciting. What impressed you the most about...
Just on .com, somebody. This is .live, right? Yeah. Whoa. I'm not going to win. I lost $2,000. Yeah, right. I can't say that because he'd come and kill me. But this is better. I could lose the $2,000. I get to take this home and my wife and the Magnum of Dom. What the heck? That was where the $2,000 would have gone. I'm absolutely speechless. I had no idea. I really said not a snowball's chance in hell. I really felt, wow, this is good. I get to introduce Helmut and be out there, an actor on a live stage with an audience. That's what I love to do. And whoa, man. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Well, like I said, on stage, you know, it was such a small role. And my sister reminded me very quickly, there are only small actors, not small roles. And I straightened out my back. It's because I felt that, well, I asked Showtime, or I asked myself about Showtime, why are they paying me so damn much money to play a...
Okay, what do you want to know?
Barbra, congratulations. You knew this was coming.
Good, how are you? I don't enjoy public performances, public speaking, public singing, public anything. I like being behind the camera or recording studios. It is nerve-wracking. I mean, somebody said, you know, like Jim Carrey said, I didn't know I was going to win, so I didn't write anything. I knew I was going to win, and so I wrote something. And, you know, it's still, is it the right thing? Should I talk about this? Should I talk about that? You know, what to say. It's difficult.
Barbra, was it strange, or how did it feel to watch for yourself, as you said, age on television, but watching your career? I mean, how did that feel to you?
It's funny. I don't. There's a great saying that I read somewhere that's about. It's great to understand the past, but not dwell on the past. You know what I mean? So I don't dwell on the past. I'm very happy in the present. And so when I look at it, I can't tell you. It's like this is work I've done. I don't have some particular feeling about watching my life past flashing by me. No. Yeah, it is. I'm quite satisfied. Why? Well, love. Love is the answer. You know, I kind of try to say that in the movies I do. And it's really nice to have it not just in fantasy, but in reality. It just puts everything in perspective, you know?
Several years ago, you talked about that just for the record, you were also putting together just like a video retrospective.
Yeah, I never did. I never released it. It's. I always meant to re-edit the first part, the first the hour. You know, it's 4 hours long. One of these days, I'll have the time.
What about the DVDs of Funny Girl? Are you going to go back and
Oh.
those? How's the status?
Yeah, you know, I actually want to do a kind of director's version of Yentl. I've never done that. There's just so little time to do everything, you know? That must be Jim Carrey, was it? Huh? Who? Oh, good. I voted for her. Somewhere in my little list. They give you a list like you keep track. She was wonderful.
Barbra, out of all your career endeavors,
Mm-hmm.
that you've accomplished, is there anything that you still have as an objective and as a goal that you have coming up or thinking about?
I'm very lazy these days. I don't have great ambitions. I mean, I'd like to direct another movie someday that I don't act in. That would be fun, where you don't have to worry about makeup and fittings, you know. It was hard to do this concert I just did. It took 6 months. It's like doing a film to put on a show. And now I have to edit the TV version. So I'm going to Australia to sing there 4 times, and then I'm not going to do concerts anymore, you know. That's it for me. Talk about not enjoying standing up and
But you know, people
speaking
love
or...
that. It must be a weird dilemma because you know people love to see you. And when you make a pronouncement like that,
Yeah.
it's news that many
Got to conquer this kind of fear I have, or stage fright, or this uncomfortable feeling. And I worked very hard at that to get up the nerve to do it. And then this was a kind of swan song thing, this 2000 concert. I mean, maybe I'll do it a couple of times more after Australia, in maybe New York or LA, I'm not sure. But that's it. It's like I don't want to do that anymore. It's very hard to sing 30 songs a night, and I had to do 8 performances the last 4 days to rehearse, and it's just not fun. And I want to have fun.
Ms. Streisand, when people are studying 20th century American culture and they look at your work, film, music, everything, 200 years, 300 years from now, what do you want people to know about what you...
Subjects that I feel passionate about. And they have some sort of, you know, they take up social issues. And I like that. I like doing the Greta Kammermeyer story, and I like doing stories about the non-Jews who helped Jews during the Holocaust, and City at Peace, which was about how do blacks and Hispanics and whites get along. I mean, that means a lot to me. There are some virtues in getting older. An appreciation, real appreciation, gratitude for life and for experiences, and love, you know, finding love, I think, is a great gift.
What's the status of Nate?
I'm sorry? Means we got our fucking ziti. That's what it means. It's the greatest. It's a terrific thing. I'm so glad that all the other, you know, all of our other nominees, you know, made it too. It's overwhelming.
You must have had a very good feeling with James, Edie, and
it got better during the night, you know, but you never can tell. Too, I was telling my wife, and it probably sounds like it's not true, but if just the fact that they all won.
James, you already got David here, or James, you already have one.
Nancy? Hi, it's David. Congratulations, sweetheart.
Well, sure. I mean, you know, the thing, I mean, I read the script, and when I read it, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And this is all so surreal for me, just so you all know. This is very surreal. And I knew I wanted to be a part of this movie, and hi, honey. Hi. My everything. So I knew instantly that I wanted to be a part of this movie. You know, usually they want to go with someone who can make the movie a lot of money, and so my fighting for the role was just because I wanted to be a part of it so bad. I flew myself to New York City to audition for it, and I put myself up in a hotel, you know, all of that on my own dime because I wanted to be a part of it so much. So that's what that was about. I don't know what else I said. You guys remind me.
Well, talk about from the minute they've said your name till right now. How surreal is it?
It's very surreal. The whole process has been, you know, it's amazing when you get recognition for your work in a movie that you're so proud to be a part of, because, you know, it just makes you really realize that people are responding to this story as much as I've responded to it and as Kim Pierce responded to it and everyone who was involved in making this movie. You know, it's a very, very important story, and it's just amazing to me that people are embracing it. It makes me realize that, one, I think we're ready to deal with these issues, and I think the quicker, you know, we become aware of these types of hate crimes, the quicker we put an end to this intolerance. And so that's, I think, what's the most exciting about this recognition.
Because of the part you played, did you vow you were going to wear the sexiest, hottest dress tonight?
Oh, thank you. You know what? To be quite honest with you, it was 1 o'clock in the morning last night, and I didn't have a dress. Versace came through for me. This is Donatella Versace. It was kind of a strange process. I've just been traveling a lot, and I've been out of town a lot, and so this is what I ended up with, and I love it. I was lucky.
Try on a bunch of stuff?
Pedro Almodovar. All about my money.
Well, this is also a miracle, you know, because really the answer of the audience is completely unpredictable. I'm not that sure. Always the answer, if it's bad, good, or whatever, is completely unpredictable. And it's amazing for me that you know, the people really, I think that they cry. In this movie, in general, I talk about passions or, or character in the streams, living, very extremely, but usually I try to explain them. I try to explain them as human being, and I think this is the key for this movie, that it doesn't matter what type of characters they are, people don't judge them. Everyone knows what it is to be a father, to be mother, or to be a son, and this is exactly what I talk about in this movie.
You put so much responsibility on your actors.
Absolutely.
This is a huge, if we're emotional.
Well, really, the actresses in this movie are the key of the movie. Without them, the movie is almost nothing. And since I don't make the cast before finishing the script. So when I finish, immediately I think about Cecilia Roth for the protagonist, because she's a good friend of mine. I worked with her 15 years ago, and she was developing very well in Argentina, where she lives and work. And immediately I thought about her, and she came. And also another Marisa Paredes, that was the actress, Yuma, and Penelope Cruz for the nun also just came in my mind immediately. The only that I have to make a lot of audition, it was for the role of the transvestite, of Agrado. And then, it took me like 3 long months looking at real transvestite and actresses, and I'm very lucky that that I decided for Antonio San Juan. So, you know, the key is that they absolutely understood me since the very beginning. And when we read the script, of course, the script, if you tell someone, is very crazy. It looks like a screwball comedy. It's something like a slapstick, no, I don't know, something. But what I wanted, and that's the key, and the challenge, and I tell them the first day, is to do it seriously, absolutely seriously. I mean, we have to make that these things are believable, these characters are believable. And, you know, that depends on the actors. And they understood it very well. And what I asked them is to be very sober, because it was enough exaggeration in the rest of the character, and they got it. And, I mean, I'm very grateful to them. Yes? Excuse me?